guys ever wonder why MrBeast got so successful so fast? I can break it down for you really quickly into something that you can use for yourself regardless of whatever business you're in, profile you're in, social media, doesn't matter. Watch this. First thing he does is he tries something different. And whether this is intros, whether this is cuts, whether this is different content, the point is he's trying something that's not what you'd consider mainstream to start with. He creates his own category, right? It's difficult to do. It takes a lot of trial and error, but that's what you need. You need a lot of trial and error. There's a reason why in one of his interviews, he says that you need to have at least 100 videos on your YouTube channel before you even start to think about going anywhere with it. Sometimes you get success early, but a lot of times it is trial and error. And that's the same thing with business. You might have to do some trial and error in your business. You might have to try different ideas. You might have to try different products, versions of your products. It doesn't matter, right? Try something different that is unique and is eye-catching and entertaining to people. There's proven funnels, right? You've probably all heard about sales funnels and all of those great things, but there's funnels for almost everything, and most of them have proven success, right? So one of the things that MrBeast does pretty well is he utilizes a known funnel, right? To get users to the platform or to his videos, to get users to his videos specifically, what's the first thing that needs to happen? YouTube needs to know what it is, where it is, and what it's about, right? That takes time for YouTube to understand your channel. This is for any platform, more or less, but the goal is it needs to understand your platform, so descriptions, titles, search engine optimization is all important. That's stage one. Once it shows up in front of you, and it's the right audience based on what you've been looking for, thumbnail, right? A lot of people talk about how thumbnails need to be perfect, they need to be eye-catching, sometimes can be clickbaity, depends on how you want to go about it, facial expressions, all that great stuff. But you're following a funnel, right? Once you got the user to click on the video, you need to keep them on the video. And once you have them on the video for longer than 10, 15, 20 seconds, maybe 30 seconds, your goal is to keep them entertained at that point, right? You've entertained the user enough to stick around where they've had somewhat of a time investment. And the process from there is keeping them to subscribe, like, comment, and those have their own funnels on top of that, right? Purposely calling things out, asking for the subscribes. Hey, subscribe if you're not. Things that cause thought-provoking content, right? Something people don't agree with, people are getting outraged on, they sympathize with, they're happy about, they're excited about. Somewhere in the gray area, right? Perfectly fine. Follow a proven blueprint. There's plenty of them online. Everything's got a sales funnel at some point, shape, or form. Another thing that he does very well is he doesn't provide false advertising, right? You sit somewhere in the grayish area. And what I mean by that is generally what you see is what you get. Obviously, it's going to be fluffed up a little bit. Maybe the thumbnail's got a little bit more of an extra explosion than probably was in there before in the actual video. Seeing some of the most recent ones, obviously, it's pretty accurate now, but it's okay to live a little bit in that gray area as long as 90-95% of what you're expecting to see from a thumbnail, from a title, from a description, the first 5-10 seconds of a video is accurate, right? Same thing goes for business when it comes to advertisements, right? We've all seen fast food chains that have a really great commercial, the food looks fantastic and you get it and it's this floppy thing that looks like garbage. Like, it's the same concept, right? Except that fast food is probably a little bit more of a dramatic example, but the point is, it's okay to live just slightly in that gray area from time to time, but make sure that what the customer thinks they're getting is mostly what they're getting, right? There's nothing worse than going into a restaurant thinking you get a nice juicy cheeseburger and you get like this clumped up piece of meat with this much cheese on it, right? Not gonna be super fun. You're not gonna wanna go tell your family about it. The next thing he does is, and this is kind of similar to other business models, is you're reutilizing your following. Once you've gathered a following, it doesn't matter if it's an email list, a YouTube channel, Instagram, TikTok, it doesn't matter. Reutilize your following. And I cannot stress that enough. When you reutilize your following, you can build new brands. For example, Beast Burger, Beastables, things like that, right? You can rebrand off of the same following, advertise from each other, and grow both brands. And there you go, right? That's why he's got 5-6 different brands, different channels. They all associate with each other to a certain point, and that provides you the reutilization of audience. There's also something called audience transference, which works just as well, and that is something he's been utilizing as well, is being able to move your audience from one platform to another. So in case, God forbid, let's say YouTube decides, I don't want to have this person on my channel anymore, on this platform anymore. Perfectly fine. He's already transferred his audience from one platform to another, so now 100 million followers is now on Instagram, is now on X, Twitter, Threads, it doesn't matter. It's on other platforms. So eventually, if YouTube allows it back, you can always rebuild and continue on from there. And that's really hard to do when you have a lower following, but the larger the following, the easier it's gonna be. 100% worth it, 100%. Once you get a following, 1,000, 2,000 users, 5,000 users, start making it happen. One of the final ones is his obsession and drive. And I've talked about this a little bit on other videos, is that when you run into a problem, don't just drop it, right? Don't just quit. Run through your problem one thing at a time, solve your problem, understand your data, and know when to move forward and when to drop things. That is absolutely critical. I am almost sure there are hundreds of videos that he has done that have never been seen by anybody. Bad idea, didn't turn out right. He understands his data and knows when to drop things. He understands when to cut things, when to remove things, when to add things, when to migrate them, when to change them around, when to change the idea around. And that is vital. And the only reason you're able to do that is because you understand the data that you have. So with anything with that, his success is easy to track. It's difficult to do, but easy to track. But you can utilize certain key concepts that he has done and use them for yourself, right? Take what I've got, roll with it. Let me know in the comments if you guys want to see anything else. Other than that, have a good one.